So, Frankenweenie, my lord, is this movie boring or what? I mean, I'm gonna rate this a 4 out of 10. Maybe I should have given it a 3. I mean, I know some people call Frankenweenie one of Tim Burton's more heartfelt projects. You know, for me, it felt like a very manipulative movie. I don't think it's very heartfelt. And like I discovered a few reviews ago, I don't like Tim Burton. I don't like his movies. I think they're exhausting, really. But then again, it's a movie, so I have to watch it. And yeah, it looks good. Sure, absolutely, it definitely has that Burton aesthetic to it. But for me, that's where it stops. Beyond the surface, for me, I found it to be very emotionally flat. I thought it was slow, for some reason very hollow, you know? And yeah, it didn't really click for me. So in this movie, we follow Victor, a young boy who loses his dog Sparky. So we have Victor and Sparky. I think Victor and Sparky are a nod to Frankenstein. And Victor decides to bring the dog back to life using electricity. You get it? Sparky, electricity. And yeah, then this should be something emotional. It should be something very touching. If I have a pet that would die and I could bring it back to life, oh my god, I would be in tears. And I think that is what this movie was trying to do, but didn't connect for me. So it should be very touching, and the problem is that it isn't very touching. The bond between Victor and Sparky, it feels strangely underdeveloped. It feels like there wasn't a bond to begin with, and that's where the movie falls flat. In terms of emotional direction, in terms of heart. That's where it misses the mark. Now, obviously, all movies usually have something that is good, and also this movie, I have to give credit where credit is due. I mean, the stop motion craft, the visual style, I'm not going to deny it. The film looks really good. I mean, we have the black and white animation, the gothic, neighborhood vibe. I think that looks really cool. And we have these homages to monster movies, like Frankenstein, Godzilla. You can pick up on that. And the mood, yeah, I think it looks good in terms of the mood, the aesthetic that it's trying to build. But that's basically where it stops for me. Now, what I didn't like about this movie, oh my god, this movie feels so hard on so many levels. Like, first of all, emotionally, it feels very flat. It feels contrived, it feels manipulative. This movie wants you to cry over a boy and his dog. But this movie never earns it. If you want to make me cry, you got to earn my tears. That's how it works. The emotional connection, it isn't built there. It doesn't build up anything. you know the parents of Victor, they barely react to anything. The grievance, it feels rushed. And when Sparky dies and when he returns, it feels just like a plot device, like a MacGuffin to push the plot. It doesn't feel like a genuine relationship between Victor and Sparky, and I really didn't like that. It tries to force emotion out of you, and it should develop emotion. It should build up to something that makes you feel stuff. And this movie just made me feel exhausted, instead of making me want to cry over something as emotional as losing a pet. So the story, it's pretty weak. The pacing is terrible. Oh my god. There's barely any plot here. The scenes, they drag on so long. Oh my god. We have so many side characters. They just wander in and out of screen without adding anything to the movie. I don't know what was going on there, but this movie feels like it's stretched really, really thin. It feels like they're just trying to push the movie to make it past a certain runtime or something. It feels very padded. It feels like there's a lot of fluff instead of actual story, instead of actual, heart. There's nothing there really. So it's very slow. It's super repetitive, and like I said in the beginning, it's just boring. It's exhausting. It's super boring. And yeah, once again, we have a movie where I don't know what this movie is trying to do in terms of where does this movie focuses on in terms of audience. Is this a kids movie? Is it an adult movie? I mean, the balance is gone. The creepy visuals with the adult themes, that's cool, I guess, but it's too gloomy. It's too strange for children, I would say. Not necessarily scary, but if it's a kids movie, they probably don't understand what the hell is going on. And for adults, like myself, I think it's really hollow, very shallow. So once again, we have a movie that sits awkwardly in the middle. It's appealing to no one really. Even the music feels lackluster. Normally I do recognize when I watch a Burton movie, there usually is one or two. There no, not is there are usually one or two songs that somehow connect with me. But this movie, the music, it feels empty. It doesn't create the atmosphere that you would expect with a movie like this because it looks good, so you expect maybe the music to be at least on the same level, and that never happens. So I don't think the music is very emotional. It lacks soul. Yeah, it doesn't work there. And like I said, I don't really like Tim Burton, and I've seen his movies. I've seen his style. We have Edward Scissorhands, we have The Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas. All these movies, and we have Frankenweenie now. It just feels like it's more of the same instead of something new, instead of doing something, evolving your craft. It doesn't feel like that. So it's the same thing, same aesthetic, same vibe, same tone, same balance that is off. No heart. It feels, I would say, even recycled instead of inspired. You know. So my final thoughts on this movie, Frankenweenie, it absolutely looks beautiful, but it's just an empty shell. There's nothing inside really. It looks like a Tim Burton film, and for me, it feels like one because I don't like his movies. But yeah, there's no magic, there's no charm, there's no emotional heart at the center of the movie. For me, it feels like it's just style, references, and an attempt to force sentiment out of you that never really lands. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I would say it's pretty to look at, but it's empty in terms of the experience. But then again, what do I really know about movies? I'm just watching. I don't know anything. So let me know what you think of the movie. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.